Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Catalyst, where we break down bullish sentiment, trends, and technical analysis in the markets. Today, we're going to be actually doing a little bit of a deep dive on AMP, as well as what $1,000 worth of AMP purchased today could mean for you in the coming weeks or years or whatever. So before we get too deep into the numbers, let's just do a quick TLDR of what AMP is and what the Flexa network is. So AMP is a digital asset. It is a collateral token designed to decentralize the risk in payment transaction, dramatically reducing the assurance cost from existing counterparty networks. What that means in simpler terms is simply just a collateral token that can be used to exchange any of one currency into any of another, or at least for making a purchase through a merchant. And that's used with the Flexa network, which is similar to the Lightning network. The Flexa network is a payment network designed to enable universal acceptance of digital assets. So that's kind of the idea of using AMP as collateral to convert any one asset into the purchase or transaction of another. So in this case, it's really unique because you could be in a different country, and if you're using the Flexa network, you actually can avoid having to make any conversions or anything from like your currency into another, or one crypto into another, kind of similar like that. The other cool thing to note is that there's actually quite a few companies that are already using the Flexa network. I believe Dunkin' Donuts is one of them. I believe Nordstrom does as well. And even GameStop is also using the Flexa network. It's integrated into the card reading system that a lot of big retailers use. So that is kind of important to note as well. Now, before we jump into numbers even further, let's just take a look at the difference between the Flexa network and compare it to what the Lightning network is capable of, as well as just kind of comparing it to what some other transactionary systems can manage. So this image here is breaking down the transaction speed and the volume of transaction that each of these individual entities or can manage. So you see here that Visa can do about 24,000 transactions per second, and you see all of the other ones, but you see the Bitcoin's only doing about 7. That's quite unique, obviously, because Bitcoin is considered, the foundation of the crypto market. But obviously, it wasn't really designed to do these transactions at the volume. The big thing about AMP, though, that's really interesting is its ability to handle large transactions and large volumes of transactions. Flexa actually has a total capacity right now of $1.4 billion that they can use as a spending capacity on the Flexa network, and that is all currently staked in AMP by its users. So let's go forward now that we understand kind of what AMP is, at least on the surface level, how it's used in major transactions, and kind of what we can do with it going forward. So let's check out the market cap. So we have a total market cap of about $2.3 trillion for all of crypto. And then if we have a look here at just AMP alone, we are going to see that AMP has a total market cap of about $2 billion. So a very, very small fraction of the total market cap of crypto in general. That's obviously very good for us, because that means it doesn't take a whole lot of money in AMP to drive the prices. So if we hit a $4 billion market cap, AMP is going to double and go up to almost 10 cents. So as you can see here, we have our $1,000 initial investment, which would yield about 20,000 AMP at the current price of about 5 cents. So that's our total value, $1,000 here at the market cap of about 2 billion. Obviously, these are rounded, and this is also not accounting for your staking value. I believe it stakes at about 4% interest. So that's quite good, or I guess yield for us, which is pretty decent. So obviously these would compound quite a bit for us over time. So if we have a pretty modest price target of about 10 cents, we would obviously go up to 2,000 with a market cap of 4 billion. And you can kind of see how this breaks down going forward. So if we hit the magic $1 price point, we would take our $1,000 investment and we would get $20,000 for that. Not, insane in terms of crypto, but that's amazing gains right there. Obviously, I don't necessarily see that happening this year or in the next year or so, but maybe 5 years down the road, a dollar could be very much in the cards, and it's still only a $40 billion market cap. So if we look at Cardano here which is at a $70 billion market cap. If Cardano wanted to double, it would have to get to $140 billion in the market cap. So that costs $70 billion more dollars to be invested into Cardano and into the network to then double the price here. We don't require too much movement to get AMP to get driven up significantly. With that being said, there's incredible risk as well, because that means it also takes less money being pulled from it to drive the price down significantly. So just be careful, obviously, with whatever investments you choose to take. Obviously, the crypto market's insanely volatile, and smaller market caps like this are even more so. So just be aware of that. But the other thing I think that's quite interesting for us here with AMP is that it's not necessarily driven by the price of Bitcoin. It's driven by the price of its adoption. So obviously, as crypto gets adopted more, Bitcoin gets driven up. That's great for the entire market. But the other thing that's cool is that if AMP gets picked up by Amazon as their main tool to make transactions, that would obviously drive the price through the roof. So just to put this in a little perspective here, Amazon alone brings in between, I think, 10 and $15 billion just in their retail services. So if the Flexa network becomes adopted more globally with all these other major distributors and retailers, you could see that it would possibly jump significantly, because it's handling more transactions than its market cap even is. So obviously the price would go up quite a bit. And also those price breakdowns here are not necessarily associated with the fact that you can stake the token as well. And if you look at the chart, it previously kind of happened where there were some whispers about Amazon adding AMP to their system. And that's actually what drove the price up pretty significantly after we had kind of bottomed out a little bit. So just be aware of that. Any big retailer that comes out and says that they're using AMP or the Flexa network is huge news for us. And additionally, there's already major corporations using the Flexa network, and it's only going to continue to grow. As the Flexa network gets more spending capacity, bigger and larger corporations will then be able to adopt it to manage their high volume and high quantity of transactions. So quite cool for us. So let's dive into the chart now and check it out. So we can see here, previously I call this the Coinbase effect. We ripped up to 12 cents after we got listed on Coinbase. We were at about the 50 or the 5 cent mark, and we went up to 12 cents. And then as the market kind of fell a bit, we dropped significantly and went back down. I think we bottomed out at almost 40 cents, 35 cents or so. And then right here, you see this is where we had that announcement or that tweet or whatever came out about Amazon potentially adopting AMP. And then that was said to not be totally true. And then we've kind of slowly been on the decline here. We are quite close actually to getting above the 50 EMA. It wouldn't take a whole lot to move us above that, which would be pretty bullish for us. But yeah, so the chart's obviously not looking amazing. There's plenty of room to grow. As the entire crypto market grows, we should see some upticks as well. I honestly see us sitting maybe by end of year maximum in the 10 cent range. I guess it really depends on how crazy the crypto market goes. And then we could obviously fall back below that, after the bear market starts. But back to kind of what I was saying before, I think AMP is a unique token in that it's not totally driven by the bull and bear market cycle of Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market. A lot of it is driven by the sentiment and its adoption throughout the entire industry of just like retail in general, and being able to make transactions like that. So really interesting crypto to dive into here. And I think it has a lot of potential to grow even in a bear market, just given the fact that it's really driven by its adoption globally, as opposed to like what the entire crypto market is doing in general, because it's just kind of like incidentally being adopted as a crypto, because it's being used as the collateral for the Flexin network. And the Flexin network is already proven, it's already working, companies are already using it, and as the capacity increases, I think larger companies will buy into this and use it as well, which again will help increase capacity while also increasing the price and the people staking and everything like that. So I think it has a lot of ways for this to go extremely bullish and be, you know, adopted across the industry. And as it gets, you know, access to more transactions, it's just going to do better for us. So definitely take a look, read the white papers. So definitely take a look, read the white papers, see for yourself. Obviously do your own research. This is not financial advice. I'm not advising to just YOLO into this. You know, it's worth maybe throwing a little bit at it and just kind of seeing where it goes. I think it'll be really cool, and I think it could, you know, have some great returns in the long run. As you saw, $1,000 investment could get up to $20,000 for all we know. So yeah, that is all I got for you guys today. If you want to see some more deep dives into different cryptos, let me know. Otherwise, we'll catch you next time. Peace.